It's a perfect definition of settlement. Both parties didn't get what they wanted. Dear students, today I will explain History Class 8 Chapter 3 Ruling the Countryside, in which we will study how and why Britishers started permanent settlement in India. Company becomes the Diwan. Company here denotes East India Company. Being Diwan at that time meant the chief financial administrator of the territory. Here is the map which shows the area under British control at that time in red. The company wanted to become Diwan to meet its growing expenses in India to buy more silk and cotton cheaply, but they were not at all interested in bringing gold and silver from England. Revenue collection was very important for the company, which had primarily come for trade. But after the right to collect revenue, there was no need to import gold and silver from England, so they began exploiting artisans and peasants. This created a great trouble for them, who were severely hit by natural calamity. Permanent settlement. Permanent settlement in India was introduced by Charles Cornwallis, who was the Governor General of India at that time. What was the need to improve agriculture? Many company officials thought that it would be beneficial to invest in agriculture, as they could sell those products at high cost in England, hence could earn more profit, which was the ultimate aim of the company. Nomadic life, shifting agriculture, etc. were practiced in India, which created a problem for the company to procure those products, those it required. Finally, permanent settlement was introduced so that they could force the peasants to grow whatever the company wanted. They appointed Rajas and Talukdars as Zamindars. British East India Company required many commodities for Europe, so they selected different areas for different ones and forced planters to grow those products only, like jute in Bengal, tea in Assam, sugarcane in the United Province, which is now Uttar Pradesh, wheat in Punjab, cotton in Maharashtra and Punjab, rice in Madras, etc. Indigo was among those costly products which was sold at high price and in great demand. So they used different measures to pressurize peasants to grow those crops for them and give them at cheap price. Indigo and wood. Indigo was in a great demand among textile producers those days in Europe. Wood could also be used in textile industry as blue pigment. Why they wanted indigo in place of wood, which was easily available to them in Europe? For this, you should compare indigo with wood. Indigo was grown in India as climate in India supports its cultivation. Wood was produced in Europe and Africa. Indigo gave rich blue color while wood gave pale and dull blue color. Different systems were introduced here and peasants were forced by agents of company to grow indigo, while European planters wanted that their government should stop the import of indigo there to support them. Problems of permanent settlement. Problems of permanent settlements were different for the company, Jamindar and peasants. In market, prices rose, which increased Zamindar's income, but the revenue was fixed, so the company could not acquire more gain. Fixed high revenue was difficult to be paid by Jamindars. If they failed to pay the revenue, they lost their Jamindari, which was a constant fear for them. Jamindars were not at all interested in improving the land. As the rent was high and right over land was insecure, many a time peasants were unable to pay the Jamindars. So they fled the countryside and the village became deserted. To resolve these problems, Britishers introduced different other systems to collect revenue. Mahalwari, Royatwari and Nij were the different systems. Mahalwari was based on plot calculation in northwestern provinces of Bengal by Holt Mackenzie. Rayatwari was based on contract in South India by Thomas Munro, known as Munro system. Nij was their land was under direct control of planters or farmers. Rayatwari and Nij system were two main systems of indigo cultivation. Mahalwari system, in which villages used to be known as Mahal. Collectors of company moved village to village, inspected the land, measured the field and estimated the revenue. But revenue was not fixed by them. It could be changed. Now Rayatwari system, which followed different steps. Planters pressurized village headmen to sign contract on behalf of ryots. Planters provided cash to contractors. They also provided the seed and the drill. Then cultivators prepared the soil, sowed the seed and looked after the crop. Then the crop was given to the planters. The new loan was given and so on. Niche cultivation, which was related to indigo cultivation also. In niche cultivation was done on farmers' own land. The term related to indigo cultivations were bigha. It's a unit of measurement of land. Before British rule, the size of the area varied. British introduced the uniform system of measurement for land. Satta. It meant contract or agreement. Gomasthas were the agents of planters who procured indigo or other crops for Britishers. There were a lot of problems faced by niche cultivators, such as indigo could be cultivated on fertile land, but it was not possible in densely populated areas because in such areas arable land was scattered. Arable means the land which could be cultivated. Planters faced difficulty in expanding the area under cultivation. These problems led to the Great Blue Rebellion in Bengal. Riots refused to pay rents. Men and women attacked over indigo factories. Those who were still under contract were planters were socially boycotted. Gomasthas and Lathials were beaten up and forced to run away. Villagers swore not to take advances from agents, which could force them to grow indigo again. Few jamidars supported the rebellion. Then the British government set up the Indigo Commission to look into the matter and found out that planters made the situation worse. In this way, indigo production collapsed in Bengal but continued in Bihar. Later, Mahatma Gandhi started Champaran movement in Bihar. This is all for ruling the countryside. Thank you. For more updates, like and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon.